Well, welcome here to your BSR MSA Kia World Series here on the iRacing Live by Apex Racing TV. This one is surely going to be a fantastic race. We're here in Summit Point, West Virginia, for what will be a classic round 10 out of 12 technically in terms of tracks, which means, if my maths is correct, this is going to be rounds 28 to 30 here of your BSR MSA Kia World Series. Jake Sparey, Conrad Venter, and Conrad, first things first, you have to look at that Drivers' Championship right now. Because, well, you have to remember, right now, Pete Newman here is a certain amount of points ahead. And, well, at the moment, he is a certain amount of points ahead, known as 38 here ahead of his own teammate, Diogo Melro. And it seems, Conrad, it's a two-man championship.
Yeah, absolutely. Melro has managed to close the gap up by, I think, 8 points since last week. But Melro and Newman's been pretty much joined at the hip since Okayama. And with only 15 drivers here tonight, this is an opportunity, should something go wrong, to make life a little bit easier for one of them and get some good points.
Yes, most certainly. Also, you've got to look at that team's championship because Discovery are away by 1,378 points. That is practically enough to claim themselves the Constructors' Champions right now. But we're going to look at these times coming in right now. Jörg Dankert currently the quickest on a 1:12.1, but you're not seeing these lap times being incredibly quick here at the moment here. Just seeing those times coming in. Pete Newman in that number 10, Conrad. He's just gone and put his car on pole. And it's so tight around here. It's so very difficult to get yourself a nice clear bit of track, as actually we see Melro and Janoski here have a tap together. It's such a close track. Lap times we're looking at only 1 minute 11 seconds at the moment. It's certainly one to look out for when it gets to crunch time in about 5 minutes time.
Yeah, and it's not a track that delivers a great deal of overtaking opportunity either. The only real place is going into turn one after a long straight and then a hard braking zone. But other than that, it's a very technical circuit, and overtaking is really going to be difficult.
Yes, most certainly it is. We're going to run you on board then with a lap of the track with the number 21 machine here, Alex Everett, right now. So here we go. He's going to come out of the final corner. Now notice the lines here down on your straightaway, Conrad. You see, it's so important here because it basically says, well, it's only going to be two wide racing. You can see pit exit there on the inside. And, well, definitely very much a racer's circuit there. You can see trees lining the outside. And, well, here we go. He crossed the start-finish line, which is after the pit lane, which is very interesting. And, actually, he's going to cut off. Let's go to Adam Hadfield then in the number 20. Here, you can see the cones on the left-hand side. Get on the brakes down to turn one. This is the hardest braking zone on the course at the moment, bar one. And then you try and just make sure that you get as much power as you can before you head yourself to turn number 2. Very important part of the circuit here. It's like having a revolver where 5 of the bullets in the game of Russian roulette are in there instead of 1. You can see it's so difficult to get that right. Lovely on the curb. And now he heads himself now towards turn 3, this small kink. Turn 4, this other small kink here. And, well, you lift a little bit, get on the brakes. Turn 5, Conrad, take us through the other half of the lap.
Yeah, turn 5, 6, 7, and 8 is known as the carousel. And Hadfield just making a mistake there, is on the grass, coming back in. It's such a difficult series of corners to get right, and it's probably the place on the track where you can lose the most amount of time. And as you can see there, it's just gone all wrong for Adam Hadfield. I think he's going to make his way down to the pits again. But after that series of corners, it opens up a little bit after turn 8. Turn 9 is a really fast right-hander. Easy to run wide there as well, and if you get a wheel on the grass, it's a street time for you. And then it's a relatively straightforward run down to turn 10. People will take different lines into turn 10, and important thing there is carry as much speed as you can coming out of the corner, just to make yourself not very vulnerable going down into turn 1.
Most certainly. 16th car has joined, and that is Stephen C. Hall there in the number 22 machine. He'll be joining us in just a couple of minutes' time out on the circuit. Cesare Rizzo's just come across the line, done a 1:11.836. That will put his car up onto row number 4 with Adam Hadfield. Great job from him right now. Just looking to see if there are any cars there who are at the moment currently setting a lap time. Jörg Dankert, certainly one of them at the moment here. At the moment, he's 11th right now on a 1:12.065. And there is one very good advantage here, Conrad, about having a small field as there is today. And that is the certain thing known as points. If there are less people in the field, there's more points to play for. And for a driver like Jörg Dankert, he will relish the fact that there are more points, as he has a lovely drift through the final corner.
Yeah, it's really an opportunity at this point of the season to make a significant jump in the standings with so few people turning up. another advantage of so few runners as we have tonight is should something go wrong for one of the the likes of Pete Newman or Malraux, they're not going to lose as many points as they would say if there was a 20 or a 25 field set of cars with us.
Definitely know what you mean there, Conrad. Well, Alex Everett does a 19 flat to open out here, but he's going to go on to another lap. So crucial to get it right. Nathaniel Simpson now up into your front rows. P2 here with a 111.318 from number 32. Kip Stevens, well, he joins himself to session, and now he will have himself probably just one lap, so he'll probably sit himself down at the back of the pack. That's one to look out for to see if he can set a representative lap time within the allotted time. He's got 3 minutes to do it, or just under, in order to get that right. But look at this, Cesare Rizzo and Pete Newman. Newman trying to help his teammate out here. Give him the toe, give him the opportunity. Newman will come across the line right now, does a 16.2. That's him starting off a lap. You look at Cesare Rizzo, 15.9. He's also starting on a lap. Watch out for those two as they come to the line, Conrad, because teamwork's everything. And well, Cesare Rizzo, he's a driver who's been down in the lower half all season, but now this could be his opportunity where he breaks into the top half.
Yeah, and we heard last week the Discovery team's desire to get a full lockout of the podium, and pretty much looks like they're trying to do it. Yeah, Malraux's got some work to do though if he wants to score a good haul of points. He just crossed the line and he's moved down to 5th.
Yes, he has. And also something to note is that Aldo Massa, the 106, and Alex Everett, the 21 car, they said identical lap times, but Massa there is ever so slightly quicker there in the thousandths that we cannot see right now. Here it is so crucial. Lewis Bibby to the line then in the 103 machine. He does a 111.798. He will not go any quicker. Kip Stevens then out on circuit right now. He has himself about a minute and a half to get around. Very comfortable. He will have himself one flying lap. That'll be so crucial. But with something we didn't talk about here, Conrad, is that Aldo Massa's back after a race ban. He has been encouraged to drive cleaner, and well, all eyes are going to turn to him to see how he's going to respond here today after that ban last time out at Spa.
Yeah, absolutely. And but the really impressive thing about him for me was after Lime Rock, he came on, came on the forums and he said he wants to race in the series, and he's doing his best to improve his racecraft, and that's really good to hear from a driver.
Yeah, most certainly it is. You can see another little twitch there heading through the final corner. Of course, cold tyres always going to be a factor. Track temperature here only 77 degrees, and well, when it's 77 degrees Fahrenheit, we know it's going to be a very cold one. We're into the final minute then, so we are going to have to look at who is going to hit the bubble further on, and I think the car that might just hit the bubble first is Max Wright. We're going to stay on with him for the moment as he heads himself now down in towards turn number 5. One of the slowest parts of the circuit, all the way down to 54 miles an hour there on his speedometer before he heads himself into the carousel, as has been said previously. And you're always trying to find that gap up into third gear through this right-hand section. Janowski fastest, 1:11.202. 15 seconds in session. Max Wright's got a lot to do if he's going to make the time. I think he might just do it if he has a perfect run. We'll see if he does here. The number 50 machine running himself now for what is, I believe, the Highlanders team into the final corner. No, he will be the first of the cars here to set a representative final lap. 1:11.6 is what he's got to do. I think he's not got enough. Answer 1:12.2. No, he doesn't. We're going to look further back down. Melrose, no, he won't do anything. Jörg Dankert running to the line. Can he improve his times? That is a question that we need to see. He is not really on anything too good at the moment. 1:12 flat. He's 12th right now. He does himself a 1:18. It won't work out in his favour now. Jason Greenfield running to the line. Lewis Bibby looks like he's running to the line. Janowski, another driver that you need to keep your eye on right here, because here we go. He's going to run himself now down towards the final corner. He's on pole. He could go even quicker if he wanted to, if he needed to, because he's got to look out for anyone who's going to really challenge. Big credit to Adam Hadfield. He's up in P4 at the moment. And no, he's going to cruise to the line. He's going to say, no, it's not going to be happening. Cesare Rizzo, he'll run the final corner. And a big twitch from Christopher Davies, and he'll go running up the bank. But Cesare Rizzo's drive for the line. Will that wield anything? Answer is a 1:12 flat. No, it won't. Unbelievable scenes. Aldo Massa's still on the final lap. We're just going to keep going back, name after name after name. I believe Aldo Massa's just done. I believe everyone's done. This is how it now looks. This is how your grid is for what I believe is this first race of your night, round 28 here from Summit Point. Julian Janowski then will put himself on pole position with the championship leader, Pete Newman. Janowski, of course, the driver with the most wins in this league, and also overturned a penalty decision at Spa by an appeal, so he did a very good job in that respect. Nathaniel Simpson then on row 2, joined with Adam Hadfield, one of the Kumre cars there, with Diogo Mauro, championship rival, in 5th, with Aldo Massa there in 6th. Alex Everett will be there in 7th, with Max Wright 8th. Row 5, Lewis Bibby and Cesare Rizzo there. Law Murray and Joe Danker lock out row number 6. Row number 7 then is Christopher Davis and Jason Greenfield. Cars yet to settle lap time. Kip Stevens, that is Stephen Hall as well. And also Peter Van Gool for the Euro team as well. Very interesting to see what's going on. Gridding process going on here, Conrad. It's all about that run to turn 1. Of course, we're running the long version of the circuit, meaning that it's a very long run, and that means if someone outbrakes themselves, we're going to see 4 or 5 cars running off.
Yeah, turn 1 on the opening lap in any series that I've seen before is treacherous, and yeah, you're going to have to keep a cool eye on your braking points.
Yes, most certainly you will do. Cars going to try and grid up then. 2 minutes, of course, to grid up, so we'll be waiting on a couple of drivers then to get themselves up and sorted, and by my reckoning, just waiting on 3 drivers, and that's 3 drivers up at the front. Those drivers will be, I believe that is going to be Adam Hadfield and Pete Newman, so only 2 drivers actually. It's certainly going to be one to look out for. This is going to be a fantastic race. Conrad, any bets on your race winner?
I'm going to go for the Mr. Nathaniel Simpson, I think. Looks like a good bet.
Looks like a good bet, of course. The champion, who we didn't get to see become champion, of course, before we went live here on iRacing Live on Apex Racing TV. All cars then are gridded up, and we're just waiting for the lights on top of the iRacing gantry to get up. Engines are revving. Lights on, lights off. This is round number 28. The green flag. We are underway here at Summit Point, and Pete Newman gets a good start, but it's a poor one from Adam Hadfield, who gets swamped down on the run towards turn number 1, and where you're going to see them go 3 wide, 2 wide here. Pete Newman trying to go around the outside, extend the advantage on the brakes. Janowski gets it at the moment, but there's a car off here on the left-hand side, and oh, I don't quite know who it is. I believe that's Lewis Bibby, actually. So Lewis Bibby in a whole world of trouble. He's gone off at turn number 1. He's running the gravel. He falls to the back of the field. Not ideal, but already you can see just how crucial it is as Mero gets a massive twitch through turn 3 there, Conrad.
Yeah, I think Lewis Bibby was... Yeah, he was aware that turn 1 could be really dangerous, got on the brakes and got rear-ended by Max Wright, and that sent him off into the trees for a bit of carpentry.
Yes, it has, and well, it's not been ideal, but now you can see just how important these 20 minutes are. Of course, the tyres could go away any second. Look at Pit. Further on down through your field, very, very good battles going on up and down, and well, at the moment, I believe he's still there. They're still going to run nose to tail. Pete Newman's still looking for that opportunity. Not going to happen into the final corner, but it's just going to have to be a wait for the time being. Janowski running incredibly wide off that exit. So, at the end of lap 1, here's how things look. It's Janowski, Newman. It's going to be Simpson, Massa, Melro, Hadfield, Everett. Alex Everett will be looking for an opportunity further down the line, but there has been an incident, and that's Peter Van Gool rolling up and over again. Get a replay of that one up, because that has happened, and actually, that's also involved Jörg Dankert there, unsighted. 2 into 1 doesn't go. Hits what's known as the rear quarter panel, and they both hit the wall, and that is the end of Peter Van Gool and Jörg Dankert.
Yeah, I think that's very unfortunate for Dankert. He was on the outside. He had to come back onto the track. Peter Van Gool had the inside, but wasn't giving Dankert any space. And yeah, unfortunate, but I think Van Gool could have left more space there.
Yes, most certainly he could have now. As you look at this leading train, it's a leading train of 7 cars, and it's certainly showing right now. Cesare Rizzo off the back of this one, but you can see the 2 Welsh cars, the Kumre team at the back. You can see Diogo Mero there in the middle of the pack, Aldo Massa there, always a key factor in these races. And then you see Nathaniel Simpson, Pete Newman, and Julian Janowski. Also Janowski, known as the race 2 winner generally by what he does, and well, he's certainly trying to show that he can win a race 1 as well. He's really looking to push and get maximum points as possible. The independence driver right now, you can see the gaps they come across the line. 4/10. Of course, slipstream is going to be a key factor, but you've got to remember, this track's only really 2 wide in places, possibly 3 wide on the brakes into turn number 1. It's very difficult to overtake, as we said before, but really, there's only 2 overtaking opportunities, and you've got to be really inventive on how you do it.
Yeah, turn 1 is there, and I mean, you'll see into turn 4 as well that guys take different lines going into that corner. So once the tires start going off and they don't have that much more grip, they'll start looking into turn 4 as well.
Yes, most certainly you can see the runs down into turn 4 and 5. That's going to be so crucial now. This is turn number 6 now. They're all starting to head through the leaders right now. We're just going to get you a battle further down. You feel Max Wright and Lorne Murray. Those two are going at it pretty strong as well. And well, further down you can see Stephen Hall running alone. Lewis Bibby trying to recover. Jason Greenfield, Christopher Davis not having the best of races either. But we're going to focus here on the battle for second right now because Julian Janowski's starting to pull away. Pete Newman and Nathaniel Simpson. Now, Nathaniel Simpson really hasn't been showing up too much. He's been showing up more in these latter races. I think he's looking to gear up for next season, Conrad. And you can see he moves a little bit to the right-hand side. He's looking to stay out of that slipstream. Is this a game of cat and mouse going on? It might not be a look for the race win, but it might just be one where he's looking to get solid points early on.
Yeah, and it's sometimes you just put your car offline a little bit. It helps you to see the braking points a lot easier. And just put your car in the wing mirror of the car in front of you. It makes them think a little bit of whether he wants to leave space or not for you going into the next corner.
Yeah, definitely. You want to try and force that error, that chink in the armour, as I state so many times in almost every broadcast that I do. You can see again, he's looking for that little chink. He has a little bit of a look there, does Nathaniel Simpson, when there was clearly no gap. He was just weaving in the mirrors, just trying to force a mistake, trying to put off Pete Newman at any given opportunity right now. We're already on lap number 4 of your motor race. It's going to be lap number 5. And of course, it's going to be 20 minutes. So with a 1 minute 11-ish lap time, we're looking at about maybe 16, 17 laps we're looking at possibly here around this circuit. Certainly going to be one to look out for here, but something to look out for here. Lord Murray, Max Wright. Battle of the Scottish cars into the final corner. Nope, not going to happen for the time being, Conrad.
Yeah, and Simpson, I think, has got a really good run on Newman coming down the main straight. He is side by side with him, braking at the same time. Yeah, and Simpson's... Oh, he's not quite making the corner in this contact.
Yes, there is contact, and well, you had to say he was trying to go for the cutback there was Pete Newman, and Newman in the end getting blocked, didn't leave enough room, and now that has completely ruined his opportunity. He's now being fought by Adam Hadfield into turn number 3, and he'll lose even more time by taking a more defensive line. You can see just how crucial that move has been, because you look at Diogo Mara now, he puts himself up into P4, but look at Aldo Massa now, he's got an opportunity, he's now into P number 2 here, Conrad.
That was fantastic. I mean, the guy missed Lime Rock due to causing crashes, and all of a sudden he benefits from one and gains 2 positions.
Yeah, it's so important to see just how he'll bounce back. He's been incredibly clean and precise. He's done everything he's needed to do. The question is, will he chase down Julian Janowski right now, who is out and looking to try and break away and look for a race win? Yet another race win in the name of Julian Janowski right now. Janowski stands at 6 race wins. He has the most wins in all of the BSR Kia World Series right now. Let's get a run through then of how things look now. It's Janowski, Massa, Simpson, Melro, Alex Everett there in the train of 5, Newman, Hadfield there, Cesare Rizzo and Lorne Murray going side by side down into turn number 1, and well, Cesare Rizzo is going to have to do it the long way around through 2, and well, I don't think he'll get any opportunity. Nope, he will slot back into line, but you've got to look out for turn number 3 as well. We're going to stay with this one here because there might be an opportunity. Actually, Max Wright being very bold, big look to the inside, room was given, but no, the opportunity doesn't arise, Conrad.
Yeah, it's always very tempting to go side by side through into turn 3, but it never ends well.
No, it doesn't there. Look at Nathaniel Simpson, number 32. He's just ran wide at turn number 5, and he's been lucky to stay on the island. Of course, it's very off camber there, but he has dropped the position to Diogo Maro, who now moves up into a crucial podium point position right now, and he'll be looking to go even further through the field. Alex Everett now back on the train of Nathaniel Simpson. He's just struggling at the moment. He's just been put off taking that contact, and while actually heading through the final corner, you can see just how close things are getting. He is right under threat from Alex Everett right now, Conrad.
And more importantly, just behind them as well, Pete Newman is 3 places behind Melro, his nearest competitor for the championship. So he's got some work to do in the remaining 12.5 minutes as well.
Yes, he really does have to do that work really hard in that next 12.5 minutes. We're heading up towards halfway, and now you're going to see the tyres start to come into their own element. Of course, it is a cold track. You can see these cars going right. Actually, 2 wide there. Alex Everett and Nathaniel Simpson both running off at turn number 3 through the gravel. A lovely little trip but now you can see here in these morning conditions on the brakes, they come along in towards turn number 5, and Alex Everett runs wide, and Pete Newman with an opportunity now, sniffing that chance to make the move forward here through 6, and now 7's going to be the next one on circuit for him, and well, he's certainly having a look, but it's not going to quite materialise just yet. He's just going to have to wait for one opportunity later on through. And actually, something to note now, battle going on further down the field, Conrad. Lewis Bibby, Stephen Hall, Max Wright starting to break away. Stephen Hall now in a little bit of trouble from Lewis Bibby. Bibby may be a lap down, but he's probably looking to unlap himself.
Yeah, it's. I can understand his frustration, lap 1 incident, and having the pace to get past cars, but there is a battle going on in front of him, and yeah, he's not going to gain anything by unlapping himself from the 2 cars that is trying to race for position in front of him.
And again, Alex Everett runs wide, but he goes very quickly to defend the inside line through turn 2, and might have to do the same again at turn 3. He's losing the train, losing the slipstream, and that is so paramount around a circuit like this. Once you're off the train, that's it. It's so difficult to recover it just because of the low top speed that you normally see. You need to be within that technical section to get it right. You can see Pete Newman's looking for a way through, but it's not quite materialising. Actually, gets another little tap to the back of Alex Everett there, saying, hello, I'm here. I'm going to make sure that you know I'm here, and I can make the move anytime I please. But right now, Diogo Maro actually closing on Aldo Massa. Gap to the front, 0.8 of a second right now. That has subject to go down in the latter part of the race, but you've really got to keep your eyes on it, Conrad.
Yeah, they're spread out evenly, say the 0.8 of a second between second and first, and then another about 7 or half a second between Massa and Malro. But yeah, as we come into the second half of the race, you're going to see the Kia renowned for its understeer when the tires, when the front tire starts wearing a little bit, and especially on this tight track and between turn 5 and 8, I think you're going to have a couple of very frustrated drivers as they come up with 10 minutes to go.
We're going to put a graphic now on the bottom of your screen showing the lap times of the top 3, Janowski, Massa and Melro. Janowski last time by a 1:11.587, Aldo Massa a 1:11.589, and look at Diogo Maro, 1:11.428. He's going to force the Massa. He wants to be in there fighting, scrapping right now. The gap here throughout the rest of your field is starting to open up, and while it's certainly one where you're going to have to wait later on to see those ones develop, but right now we still have that leading train of 7 cars all looking for the opportunity. I'm going to stay with Pete Newman right now because Pete Newman once again is hot on the heels of Alex Everett, but you can see he gets a worse run, Conrad, and that's going to affect him towards the final corner, and the final corner is just a slingshot corner. It throws you towards turn number 1 with as much top speed as you possibly can, and where you can certainly see that Alex Everett has that one nailed to a T.
Yeah, it's again, that's we're getting into the last 9 minutes, and this is where tire wear starts kicking in, and you're going to start suffering from understeer coming through these fast corners.
Yeah, certainly you could start suffering with understeer. We might see cars start to go a little bit wide. Only 3 cars are outside the leading lap. That is Jurg Danker, Peter Van Gool and Lewis Bibby, all involved with incidents earlier on in your motor race. Of course, Lewis Bibby involved in the lap 1 incident, Peter Van Gool and Jurg Danker around lap 2, where the car flipped up and over again, doing the best simulation of a roller coaster. But right now, you can see now that Aldo Massa is actually going to be under threat, and so is Diogo Maro. Maro's stuck in a very unfortunate sandwich, Conrad, and he does not want to be there, scrapping, fighting. He just wants to be cleanly through as quickly as he can.
Yeah, and I think that's the type of driver he is as well. We never or rarely see Mauro getting stuck into the nitty-gritty end of things, getting elbows out and slamming doors against each other. He sort of paces himself, and to come under pressure like this when he's trying to drive his own race, don't think it's something he's going to like very much.
No, I don't think he will either. You can see him running down the front straight away. Nathaniel Simpson again running incredibly wide, and now you can see right now Diogo Maro now trying to close that gap. You can see it's 4/10, it's 3/10, it's going to go to 2/10 on the brakes, but it's not going to happen. Actually, Nathaniel Simpson runs incredibly deep on the brakes to get himself back into position, and well, it just shows you last of the late breakers. John Alesi would be very proud of that one there, but you can't take any credit away from Julian Janowski right now here, Conrad. He's stayed out and away from the very beginning, from the word go, and he hasn't put a foot wrong.
Yeah, I think he's paced himself very well. He's kept that gap around about 0.8 of a second all race long, and you see this from him ever so often, that once he hits the front, he's very good at staying there.
interesting to note right now is Adam Hadfield here at the back of the train. You look at him, he's really looking to try and get away through on Pete Newman. Newman, of course, looking to try and get back up to the front. We know the pace he's got. He was second in qualifying. He's down 4 at the moment from where he is, looking to chase down Alex Everett. Everett just ever so slightly off the back of Nathaniel Simpson. For Adam Hadfield, does he wait for the end of the race, or does he have to start making the move now in order to get the result he wants?
He's only got he's got less than 7 minutes left, so he can do it here. But at the moment, looking at his driving, just looks like he's trying to overdrive the car a little bit. You know, very quick in qualifying, 5th fastest in practice. He just needs to calm it down a little bit. Now, hit your braking markers, and he'll be right there.
Talking about braking markers there, you can see Pete Newman running ever so slightly wide through turn number 1. That will compromise his run towards turn number 3 right now. You can see just how much that's affected the gap. Of course, everything's seeming a little bit stagnant right now. It's the calm before the storm. The fireworks will come up later on. And while Nathaniel Simpson having another little look into turn number 4. It won't materialise here into 5 now. And, well, you can see just how much he wants to make the move, how much he wants to get there and break away. But it's not quite happening here. And it's all about patience right now. You can see Pete Newman now again on the back of Alex Everett. Alex Everett being very patient, knowing that he's not going to catch Nathaniel Simpson for the moment, but knowing that he's keeping it on the island to keep himself in this motor race.
And you're going to see the guys who's been looking after their tyres. I think a guy like Diego Malro, they're definitely going to benefit in the last 5 minutes of this race. Yes. There's obviously a lot of drivers that's been a lot more aggressive in their driving, and they're the ones that I think is going to start to suffer anytime soon.
Yes, now you can see Pete Newman here. He's going to look to the inside on Alex Everett, and Everett's not going to defend it here. Last little late breakers down in towards turn number 1. Pete Newman to the inside. Room given, but they're going to remain side by side now as they head themselves for turn number 3. Inside line with Alex Everett at the moment. Big squeeze. He's 2 wheels on the grass. There is being fair, and where you can see, and it gets so close to touching, but it doesn't quite happen. But you got to look behind, because you got Cesare Rizzo and Kip Stevens right now. Kip Stevens, of course, the 2-time BSR Pro Series champion right now. Kip the hair flick into the left-hander at turn number 3. He's struggling this race. He started at the back. We expect him to be further up, but no, he's really struggled, Conrad, and that is surprising, but he's going to have a better chance in the next race.
He'll start further towards the front. He's going to have another look at Rizzo's. Rizzo one's wide in turn 4. But, Kip didn't have a great qualifying. He had 1 lap, and he messed that up a little bit. And from there on, he just ran practice laps. So I think maybe a little bit of under preparation for him coming into this meeting.
Can we get a replay on... Can we get a replay here on Pete Newman, please? Because coming down in towards turn number 5, he has gone and ran himself wide. There, we just seen it here on screen. He's ran wide down to turn 5, almost took the back of Alex Everett off, but now he is down in 7th, and he is a mile away. Not happening. Gap at the front was down to 3/10. Alex Everett runs wide, and through goes his own teammate, Adam Hadfield. This race is hotting up. We don't have enough eyes to see it, but now, in the final 5 minutes, everything's hotting up. Aldo Massa is closing on Janoski, and so is Mauro, so is Simpson. 4-car train at the moment. Battle for your race win's going to come up, and the podium. Conrad, we're in for a treat.
Absolutely, and Everett and Newman, I said tyre wear, guys are looking after their tyres are going to benefit. It's starting.
Yeah, most certainly it is. Janoski, of course, has been out in the way. He hasn't had anyone to draft off to save the tyres, and now he's going to start paying the price up front, because here comes Aldo Massa. He's been incredibly quick, very unlucky, caused a few incidents. Now is not the time, just returning from a race ban due to it. Actually gets a huge slide through the final corner, and that's going to hugely affect the run. You can see already he moves hard to the inside line. It's going to be Diego Maro who's going to go round him. He takes the line here and retains second here as he crosses it. But now, to the outside goes Diego Maro on the brakes in towards turn number 1. And I think, yes, I do think he's going to have to yield. And he's got to be careful of Simpson, who's going to try and go for the cutback. But now it's a little bit of a breather here, Conrad, for Julian Janoski. He's got the gap in 6/10 once again, and he can just wait it out a little bit.
Yeah, he's got 2.5 minutes to survive, and watching these two, the likes of Melro and Massa battle in his wing mirrors would have been music to his ears. Oh, Massa's off.
Massa is very off, and he's going to come across the track. Oh, how has he done that? Slides the gap, and that was great awareness there from Nathaniel Simpson. And for Aldo Massa, it's all gone horribly wrong. He's going to run the infield now and try and get on circuit as quickly as he can. He yields the time, he yields 2 more positions. but that's his race opportunity over, and now we are down to 3. They're whistling themselves away. Simpson, Melrose, Janoski, battle for your race win going on, and Janoski here now has the gap. Now the worry is starting to fade away from Janoski here. We're going to look at the clock, just see how many lap times he's got when he crosses the line. He crosses the line right now. Time, 18 minutes, 3 seconds. That's 2 more laps of your motor race, and he's got a gap of 8/10. Diogo Maro's got a lot of work to do, Conrad, if he wants to win this one.
Yeah, he does indeed, and the gap looks significant enough that if he just runs 2 clean laps, he should be able to keep hold of it.
Yeah, most certainly. You can see them now running themselves in towards turn number 3 on circuit. Very important to get the lines right, and actually, Diogo Maro and Nathaniel Simpson would both take to the gravel once again here. In towards turn 4, light lift here, and then you touch the brakes and hit them hard into the left-hander then of turn number 5. You can see run the lighter tarmac there. That indicates your racing line here. And actually, that gap's coming down a little bit. That's not going to be over, said and done. We're going to hit the final lap this time by. This might be one where it doesn't promise. This might be one where it promises a lot. It's all about the pressure cooker, and it's building on Janoski in the 100 machine. Independence driver looking for win number 7. Of course, Mero looking for win number 6. Simpson looking for his 2nd race win of this season. They've all got the caliber. They've all shown it right now. But it's Julian Janoski who will lead them to the final lap. Gap 7/10 of a second. It's a long shot. It's a big long shot, so we'll focus here on the battle for 2nd. But as you say that, Janoski runs incredibly wide down into turn number 1. Very lucky he keeps it on the brakes, but now that gap's going to close further and further and further. Still it will. This is going to be so crucial to look out for here. In towards turn number 3, I think that gap's a little bit too long for the time being. We're just going to stay with this one. There are battles going on further down your field that we need to look out for here, but we're going to stay with your leaders right now, because in towards turn number 5, they come along, and well, you can see again, running incredibly wide is Nathaniel Simpson. His chance might have gone, but you got to look at Julian Janoski right now. He's just got a couple of corners to hold on. Maintain. He's done it. It's lights to flag. It looks like it might be 7 race wins so far this season, and he's looking to be a very dominant force for the next season coming along. He missed 3 races. He could have been in the title hunt. He's not. Into the final corner, he comes along. Julian Janoski will round it, no problems at all. Race win number 7. He takes round 28 here at Summit Point. Great race win. Conrad, take us through the rest of the field.
Yeah, Adam Hatfield sitting in 4th place. He comes across with Alex Everett very close behind him. Aldo Massa coming home in 6th place. Pete Newman, not a great race for him, started 2nd, finishing up in 7th place. Lorne Murray, Cesare Rizzo in 8th and 9th. Kip Stevens finishing as well, 5 places up from where he started, with Max Wright in 11th. Just waiting for Stephen Hall to cross the line. Lewis Bibby and Peter Van Gool lap down. They've crossed the line. Stephen Hall across as well. And 13th and 14th is Jason Greenfield and Christopher Davis.
Yes, most certainly. You can see them now running themselves through their final corners right now. They're doing as much as they can, and well, they'll be up at the front for the 2nd race. Of course, we didn't see too many fireworks. The biggest thing to talk about was that incident between Peter Van Gool and Jurg Dankert there. Just seemed that Jurg Dankert there was caught on the outside. Not much he could do. Of course, he missed Spa-Francorchamps due to personal reasons, and now he's come back looking to try and get a better race weekend, and it didn't quite happen for him today. But everyone's finished. We'll get you through now at official classified results here from round number 28 of your BSR MSA Kia World Series here from Summit Point. And Julian Janoski then will take the race win by 8/10 of a second, really. We're going to round it up from Diogo Mero. Nathaniel Simpson there finishing 3rd with Adam Hadfield in 4th. Alex Everett there in 5th with Aldo Massa there 6th. The shame there of what happened to him. Pete Newman, big surprise, falls 5 positions to 7th. That could change the championship, with Lord Murray 8th. Cesare Rizzo 9th, holding off Kip Stevens. Kip the Hairflick Stevens there in 10th. Max Wright, Stephen Hall, Jason Greenfield, Christopher Davies, last of the cards on the lead lap. And then Lewis Bibby, Peter Van Gool, and Jurg Dankert right now. So we are going to get for you a driver interview right now. And we're going to get you the guy who finished off in 2nd place here this evening. His name is Diogo Maro. Diogo, 2nd place. Of course, you found yourself starting off in 5th position. It was all about carving your way through the field one place at a time.
Yeah, this track is really hard to overtake. we need to stay on the split stream, so we can, at least I tried to stay on a split stream so I could overtake on the main straight.
Yes, most certainly, and well for you. It seemed that everyone around you started falling towards the end of the race. You look at Pete Newman had himself running wide. You look at Alex Everett and Adam Hadfield involved in that instant as well, losing touch of the train. And then you look at Aldo Massa, who's almost so close to tagging your rear. Is that the most scariest moment you've seen in a BSR Kia World Series right now?
Yeah, for me. Yeah, I saw him flying on my mirror.
Yeah, of course you did. And well, second place is always very good, but you got to do it from the back of the grid now. Here, you're going to be qualifying, by my reckoning, about 14th on the grid, row 7. So, is it going to be a tough one to push yourself through, or are you going to hope for a little bit of misfortune further down? Because it's a very tight track, and it's so difficult to overtake.
Yeah, I'll just keep my racing and try and get some luck if other guys do some mistakes.
Well, thank you for joining us there, Diego. Second place for the Discovery team there in that number 11 machine. But stay with us right now, because rounds 29 and 30 are coming up after these messages. Don't go away. We will see you here on iRacing Live on Apex Racing TV after these few messages.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Truex in the outside contact made. 56 slides it at a 4. Who's going to be at the stripe? Dead even. Give it to Ryan Truex. Truex is your winner over Tandy.
Welcome back then, ladies and gentlemen, to the BSR MSA Kia World Series. This is round 29 right now here from Summit Point here in West Virginia. And why did I say MSA? Well, we just seem to have a bit of sponsorship here and recognition from the British Motorsport Association, of course. Sponsored here on iRacing Live here on Apex Racing TV by Crest Glazing, of course, for all your double glazing needs up in the Scottish Highlands. And well, if you join today here and you're brand new to iRacing, you can get 3 months off for the price of one with the promotional code PR-BSRTC. And if you need any equipment, you can get €30 off of any JCL Sim Racing products with the promotional code 5VATA1KA. And of course, if you want to join this series yourself with a brand new series coming up in about 3 weeks' time, if I'm correct, well, you can certainly join here at the BSR Kia World Series Facebook page. All your descriptions here are underneath here this video right now in the description box below. And well, Conrad, very important race here coming up, race 2. It settles up everyone. It sort of sums up the status quo. It's sort of trying to work out who's the quick guy around here, who's having a blinder, who's having a sick day at the office. And the big thing to note here is that you look at Aldo Massa and Pete Newman. They both went off at turn number 5, and it is very easy to do the same thing again.
Yeah, we've got the afternoon settings and the track temperature is a little bit hotter, so the tires are going to take a bigger hammering. We also saw that the lap times are very close together and overtaking is not so easy around here, so expect a few more incidents than what we saw in race 1. And yeah, I always say race 2 is my favorite race of the evening.
Yes, most certainly, and actually something really big to note that we don't often talk about here, it's the wind speed we need to talk about here, Conrad. 12 miles an hour north, it's going to be very difficult to get right. You're going to see a lovely push in towards turns number 4 and 5, but apart from that, it's going to be very, very difficult to get that one correct here, because that wind is going to push you off wide, and it's going to throw you and unsettle the car.
That's a very interesting point to note. I think the wind speed and wind direction is something we don't often take note of, and you know, we sit and we start looking at changing setups when the car doesn't behave as we think it should through some corners.
Yes, of course, and well, of course we run a fixed setup here, meaning that once you're there and once you're starting, that's it. You're not going to get any other opportunity in order to change anything on the car. You are stuck with it, and it's all about driver skill rather than what is going to be the better setup. So, just looking at this, 2 minutes to go here. It's certainly been an interesting one, race 1. You're going to see these guys coming from back to front, and you're going to see the bottleneck that normally occurs. Normally in race 2, we see the bigger incidents start to happen, so it'll be very interesting to see if anything's going to go on in that respect. But Julian Janowski here at Conrad, 7 race wins this season and not in the championship fight at all. That says all you need to know about how poor his other races have been.
Yeah, it also says a lot about how competitive the series is. I think Janowski has missed a race here and there, and without those he would have been right up there. But then again, we did mention, I think last week, that sometimes he struggles to drive through the field. He only did and proved me wrong, and I think it was a race 3 around Spa. But yeah, doing it around Summit Point is going to be a different story.
Yeah, most certainly it will be a different story. Just watch out for everyone trying to push themselves up through the field. And well, 1 minute then till we get ourselves gridding up once again, looking for the opportunities to arise. And well, for Pete Newman right now here, Conrad, he's got to think that his opportunity now has to come in these next 2 races, because he made the error and he made the mistake in the opening 2 races. Well, the opening race, first one wasn't his fault, but the second one, oh, he dropped it himself, and he'll be ruining that mistake.
Yeah, I think when one mistake happens or one thing goes wrong, you get the snowball effect, especially when it comes down to the business part of the season, and results really start to count. And maybe he was just pushing a little bit too hard, which caused him to go off at turn 5. But yeah, not a great race for him. Malro definitely a beneficiary there, and yeah, Newman's gonna have to do a good job in the next 2 races to keep the lead he's got in the championship at the moment.
Very quickly, your pick for the race win?
Oh wow, you put me on the spot there. It's good looking through. Well, I think Mr. Massa showed he had a good race in race 1, starting a bit further forward in front of the other faster guys. I think he's a good pick.
Yes, most certainly he will be. We can now run you through the grid then. This is how things will look for race 2 of the evening, round number 29 of the championship here from Summit Point. Lewis Bibby then will put his car on pole position with Christopher Davies alongside on the front row. Row number 2 sees Jason Greenfield and Stephen Hall with Max Wright there in 5th and Kip the Hairflick Stevens there running himself in 6th. Cesare Rizzo will be 7th with Lorne Murray 8th. Pete Newman, Aldo Massa, they'll lock out row 5 with Alex Everett and Adam Hadfield, an all-Welsh 6th row. Row 7 is Nathaniel Simpson, Diego Maro, Julian Janowski, Peter Van Gool, and Jurg Danker round out the field. So, very interesting race to have. Of course, 1 minute to grid up, which means there's only 20 seconds left to grid up, waiting for a couple of cars to get themselves sorted. Of course, Diego Maro, one of them to get on. Pete Newman has just got on circuit, waiting for Kip the Hairflick Stevens as well. 10 seconds left on the clock. Car's starting to get a little bit impatient right now, just waiting for that opportunity to arise. There is Kip Stevens. There is also Adam Hadfield. And now, here we are. Lights on, lights off. Round 29 of your championship starts now. Poor start from Jason Greenfield here. He's going to get swamped by Stephen Hall, by Max Wright as well. The switch in towards turn number 1. Lewis Bibby having a good start here. You look at Christopher Davies, he might be under threat. Stephen Hall down to the inside. Here we go into turn number 1. Are we going to see instance? Yes, we are. Cesare Rizzo, he turns around. He makes contact. And well, there's going to be a little bit of bumping and bagging further down. But Aldo Massa involved. Same there is also Adam Hadfield. And that is not ideal for Cesare Rizzo. He had a great first race, but now the second one's not going to hang on. And actually, we're going to see Max Wright going to take to the grass here as his opportunity fails to arise. This is fantastic opening start. And already Stephen Hall and Lewis Bibby out and away, Conrad.
Yeah, turn 1, for once it's Aldo Massa, not at fault. He got, just swiped there by Cesare Rizzo, got wildly out of shape on the braking.
Yeah, Christopher Davis just then, he just went flying off at turn number 5. He will fly down through the order now, and he's behind Peter Van Gool, who started at the back of the field. You look at Jason Greenfield here, he's dropping like a stone. Diego Maro back flying through the field. Janowski having a go, Newman having a go, and right now you can see already how important everything is. Kip Stevens up 3 positions right now. He's running up in your podium. This is how things are going to look after the end of the first lap. You can see Lewis Bibby then will set the fastest lap, of course, because he's up at the front, of course. There you go.
Wow.
He's...
Oh, sorry, contact down the main straight. Jason Greenfield is off the track into the trees. And, there's going to be one for the steers to look into.
Oh, well, for me, I believe Jason Greenfield's just edged himself over towards Max Wright. Wright was right on the edge of the circuit. Actually, here you can see just how important everything is. Just trying to get everything correct. It hasn't worked. And actually, Janowski right now through on Stephen Hall. Hall's dropped a lot of time as well down to turn number 1. Let's get a replay then on Stephen Hall's perspective. See exactly what's happened down to turn number 1 after all of that. So, running himself down in towards turn number 1. Is he going to get everything sorted? No, he gets 2 wheels out and actually gets a tap from Kip the Hairflick Stevens. And he has to take to the grass here, Conrad. And that is not ideal. And now he drops down the field and fighting Diego Maro.
Yeah, he's it shows you how important it is to get a good run through the carousel. And he manages to get a good run out of turn 9. But, Maro is going to be right there coming down the main straight.
Look at your battle for second place right now. Pete Newman is there. He started off in 9th. He's up to what is now 4th position. Alex Everett, 11th to 3rd, showing his class. And there's Kip the Hairflick Stevens there as well. Lewis Bibby ahead by 1.2 seconds at the moment. But this is certainly going to show up. We've only had 2 laps of your motor race, and already we've seen so much drama going on. We've seen Aldo Massa drop the lap right now. He's stuck on pit road. Cesare Rizzo, he's dropped time. So has Jason Greenfield as well. It has certainly not been the best race for many people in this field. And actually, look at Kip the Hairflick Stevens under threat from Alex Everett. Everett in towards turn 4. Might have a look towards turn 5. It's very difficult to get that one sorted. But no, he'll wait for the opportunity to arise, Conrad.
Yeah, you'll see here, as I mentioned the lap before, how important it is to get a good run here. Alex Everett coming great out of 5. He's on the inside of Kip Stevens, and he's going to have the inside for turn 9 as well. He should have this move done.
Unbelievable there, Conrad. bumping and banging and a slide as well. They could go 3 wide for the final corner. He's still got the nose, and he brakes later. Last of the late breakers here around the outside. Oh, they're going to squeeze, and this is what this racing's all about. They're going to remain side by side. Pete Newman to thread the needle, possibly. Oh, this is sensational to watch. Here, this battle going on. It might allow Lewis Bibby to go on. They're going to cross the beams. Stevens to the inside here. Newman on the outside, and Janowski wants a piece of the action. He has to go and take a piece of action. Contact there behind Newman. Thought he was through, but no. Stevens holds on, and all that became with Janowski flying through the inside, and he's done very well to avoid everyone there.
He did brilliantly well to avoid everyone there.
Oh, it was so fantastic, Conrad, and well, it's still not over. We now have a 5-car train because Diogo Melro's there, and so is the car of Stephen Hall once again. Head down towards turn number 5, and where you can see, oh, there's contact there, and Diogo Melro having a bit of a scrap, and now you've got to look at Pete Newman as well. Championship leader having a scrap with Kip Stevens right now. Bibby's going to be out and away, and he's going to try and break away as quickly as he can in the England machine, but right now, you have to say, Kip Stevens is doing everything he possibly can to maintain second. He hasn't got a race win to his name. It's so surprising in 28 races that we haven't seen Kip Stevens. It might be 29. Contact behind there into the final corner. Everett, he bumps his way through. He pushes himself with authority and says, I'm having that one. No way, Pete Newman, are you getting that 3rd place right now? Because I want it, I need it.
And this is allowing Melro to catch up to them as well, with Janowski not too far behind. Melro is still having a little look at Stephen Hall as well.
Yeah, well, actually, you've got to look at the times here. It was a 1:12.2 from Lewis Bibby. It was a 1:14.2 from Kip Stevens. All that battling cost 2 seconds of time. And now there's a train going on from 2nd all the way back to, I believe, 13th on the road. It says all you need to know right now. Everyone is really pushing, looking for that gap. So you don't know where to look. Down to the inside goes Adam Hadfield. There on the car of Lord Murray. Murray's got nothing to do. He'll wait behind for the time being. But you can see that nose to tail 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 to tail. Well, right now, to quote Murray Walker, you have to say Alex Everett is as close to Kip Stevens as Kip Stevens is as close to Alex Everett at the moment, Conrad.
Yeah, and Lewis Bibby is loving every single second of it. Oh, Adam Hadfield going around the outside of Max Wright at turn 9. And then he takes the inside. Yeah.
Wow! This is brilliant from Adam Hadfield. He's here to race, and he's going to try and take the race one winner. Julian Janowski down the inside, but further up ahead, you got to look, because, well, Alex Everett's going to go side by side. Here, Noah's Ark, 2x2. Down to the inside. At turn number 1, bumping of doors. There from Kip Stevens, didn't give the room, but now you've got to look behind. Newman, Hall, and Diogo Melro, championship contenders. This is so crucial for the championship fight as they head themselves in towards turn number 3. On the outside, Stephen Hall, he might lose the run right now. Runs a little bit wide, and here comes Diogo Melro right now. Here, no, he's going to wait behind for the time being. Look for a better opportunity behind. Janowski and Hadfield still too wide as they head for turn 5. Later on the brakes. They go, and that's a brilliant move. You can get it done. No room. Contact, but he keeps it together. And now we've got 2 Tartan Lassies, I believe. No, I believe it's Highlanders, I'm correct. Murray, and I believe that is also Peter Van Gool running themselves side by side. This is stunning. I can't catch a breath.
It really is brilliant racing we're seeing at the moment. And all the while this is going on, Lewis Bibby is extending that lead. That's over 5 seconds now.
Yes, and they're going to go side by side here in the battle for second. Alex Everett is going to do it. And, well, Tartan Lassie certainly in blue, Highlanders in orange there. I can never work out which one's which, but now I have official confirmation here. And look at Pete Newman. He wants a PC action as well. Side by side then. Daz will turn number 1. Mero's going to run it deep behind as well. And he'll look to try and go through on Stephen Hall. We said he'd try and set that move up. And, yes, he does. He moves up then into P number 5. At the moment, and well, there's still a look here from Alex Everett. Tansy inside at turn number 3. Room being given. Outside for 4, inside for 5. Has to give out, but Pete Newman's going to go to the outside. He says, I want an opportunity. And what Diogo Melro's right behind him. Championship rival and teammate. So all got to keep your eyes on that contact. There is Kip Stevens. He'll take to the outside, and he'll lose all that time after contact with Alex Everett. And that looked quarter panel again. Of course, that is front right there towards the left rear. And that didn't work out at all for Kip Stevens. He's now been forcibly handed down the field. And all that work to keep himself there, he's got to get all that work again to push himself back through.
Yeah, such close racing there. I mean, you can expect little incidents like that. Not that Kip Stevens is going to regard that as little, but it's very reminiscent of what we saw around Silverstone a couple of weeks ago.
Yes, most certainly. And well, it's certainly going to be interesting to look a few weeks ago at what's happened at Silverstone, because they are going to go too wide. Pete Newman now looking at the inside of Alex Everett. Everett's got nowhere to go. He's going to have to run the outside line through turn 1, and it's so difficult. Oh, there's contact between the two. He tried to shut the door. The door wasn't there. They're going to go 3 wide behind as Janowski and Hall continue to go at it, and now he falls back to Kip Stevens. Oh, hello. We can see Electric Boogaloo number 2 happen here. As they head themselves now in towards turn number 3, you can see Stephen Hall still outside with Julian Janowski. Oh, this is brilliant. No room being given. Thread the needle 3 wide. They're not going to go Talladega 3 wide. Oh, he's down in towards turn number 4. No, we're not. We're going to see them still remain side by side. And it's so difficult to hold the outside line, especially with it being off camber. And well, now you can see Janowski's still on the inside contact. Hall, he's going to get turned around, and he's going to keep the car going. But now you can see he's going to fall through the field. He just can't catch a breath because everyone is making a piece of contact somewhere through this second half of your race. But you got to remember Lewis Bibby here, Conrad. He's 7 seconds away.
Yeah, he must be looking at his relative timings and think Christmas was come early this year. 7 seconds with half the race to go. I mean, that's a mile.
Yeah, it's a country mile, you have to say, not one of these silly London miles that you talk about. And now you got to look at Kip Stevens right now. He might be under threat from Alex Everett again. Here as they head towards turn number 1, there is a look to the inside. There is a chance on the brakes. The door was shut, and he had to make sure he got himself through. He's going to run wide, is Alex Everett, and now he's going to drop even more positions. Red Mist has descended. His opportunities, he's looking desperate now because he's dropping further and further. But you got to look at the battle for second here, Conrad, because Diogo Mauro and Pete Newman, they're not going to have any worries too much behind. Only Julian Janowski. But right now, these two, this is a true fight for the championship starting to brew.
Yeah, and this is what we've been asking to see for most of the season. And hopefully we'll get a little bit of side-by-side action from them too in the next few laps.
Yes, we do. Alex Everett side by side with Peter Van Gool, of course, who had that incident early on. Well, he can't shut the door there through turn 5 and turn 6 and 7. Now into 8. Make sure he saw it. Nathaniel Simpson behind looking for an opportunity. He hasn't climbed the field well, but he's looking for that chance. It's not happening. 2 cars are retired at the moment. Jason Greenfield and Aldo Massa for the time being. Just shows you just how competitive it is. Side by side, Stevens round the outside of Adam Hadfield. Hadfield's had nothing there. He's had to let it go through. But now you got to look. Battle here with the discoveries. Here it's Melrose versus Newman. This is what the championship's all about. To the outside goes Diogo Mauro, but he outbrakes himself into turn number 1. And Pete Newman holds for the time being. But he keeps himself on the back. And Conrad, that's so crucial in terms of the championship fight.
Yeah, Melrose could have been on the brakes there a little bit earlier and made the corner and keep that second position, as it is just, outbraked himself a little bit. There's a couple of inches, and he had to concede the second place to beat Newman again.
Yes, but you got to remember, Julian Janowski there on the back. He's gone from 15th to 4th in this race, and he's showing exactly what he's made of there. Of course, Diogo Mauro 14th to 3rd. He's showing everything that he wants to do. Everyone is looking to try and get themselves in a position that's behind. There you can see a little bit of scrapping going on there. There was contact between Stevens and Alex Everett once again. And now Nathaniel Simpson ran the outside at turn number 8. There has to get the position yielded right now. And Alex Everett is struggling right now. Has to deal with Lord Murray down the inside possibly. No, that's not going to happen into the final corner. No, he makes sure of it. He cuts the line off. But you have to keep your eyes peeled here, because anywhere you look, it is going to be a battle. And well, you look at Diogo Mauro here. He's going to go defensive on the inside now. He knows that Janowski's behind. He might have a late lunge on his own teammate. That'll be one to look out for. To the outside goes Julian Janowski, and they are going to rub quarter panels. And now they're going to go side by side for turn number 3. Not what either of them wanted. Pete Newman wanted it, but not Diogo Mauro. Here for turn number 3, they come along. Is there going to be any bumping and battling? No, there's not, because through goes Julian Janowski up into 3rd. Great move.
Yeah, that was a bit of a weird one by Melrose, going defensive down into turn 1. I think it was far enough ahead not to do so, but Janowski is flying at the moment. I mean, he's just showing that what I said earlier about him not being able to drive through the field is complete and utter rubbish. And hopefully for Melrose, Janowski can put a bit of pressure on Pete Newman.
Yeah, certainly. How much of that is actually down to tactics of just sacrificing your first race to get the other 2 sorted? That's one that you always got to take into account. But right now, you look at what Julian Janowski's doing. He's seen the field. He knows he can push. He's in the podium at the moment. And now Pete Newman's got to worry. You've got to look behind, though, because there are still fantastic battles to go on there. Look at this, Van Gool and Lord Murray here, the two blue Scottish cars there. I'm going to get it wrong, but I'm going to say Tartan Lassies right now as they head themselves now down towards turn number 1, once again just out of the final corner, where you can see just how important everything is. And actually behind, you're going to see Diogo Maro here actually in front, going to try and look for the inside. No, not going to happen through turn number 1, Conrad. And well, this is starting to get crunch time. The 5-minute warning is surely coming up soon.
Yeah, and we're going to see yet again, especially with the hot track temperatures, tires are going to start going off, and those who's been managing to look after their tires a little bit are definitely going to benefit.
Yes, most certainly. Look further back down your field. You got your train led by Adam Hadfield behind him. Hall, Wright, Simpson, Stevens, Everett, Murray, Van Gool. It says all you need to know about it. And well, you can see just how crucial everyone is trying to put themselves through right now, as we're going to look at Everett Stevens 3 here, and well, they're going to be lost in Summit Point, West Virginia right now, because they are really looking for an opportunity to find themselves through, to strike, to pounce. They're losing the gaps, and Kip Stevens, this is a case of what have been. Both of them, they had the opportunity for a podium, Conrad. They've dropped down now to the top 10 fight. That's not exactly what either of them wanted.
I know, especially Kip Stevens, who's not been having a great night so far, and it just goes to show how close the racing is around Summit Point, and one little mistake drops you 5, 6, 7 places down the order.
Side by side for the battle for second, Janowski and Newman. There is contact down towards turn number 1, but they're going to keep themselves there. 2 cars out of the race, Jason Greenfield, Aldo Massa, but now Janowski having a little look for turn number 3 here, and well, he's got himself a nose in, and well, the room's going to have to be given for 4, and well, they're going to remain side by side, and Diego Maro's going to pounce here. He's going to try and force it out. There's contact. They're going to run through the grass, and when they hold it together, somehow, that is the save of the season so far. Maro saves his championship in that one moment there, Conrad. Unbelievable, heart in your mouth stuff.
Yeah, I think you got that right. Save of the championship and saving a season right there, and his heart will definitely be in his mouth.
Oh, Diogo Moro, the blood must be coursing through him right now, because he knew, he saw his championship flash before his eyes, and well, he's lucky to keep it together. But you got to remember, Janowski's still there on Pete Newman, and he's in range. Here right now, we're in the 5-minute warning right now. We are in that range where you can say anything, and I mean anything's going to happen right now. To the outside goes Janowski here on Pete Newman in towards turn number 1 here at Summit Point Raceway. He's going to go around the outside. There is contact between the two once again. And well, Pete Newman holds on. It's not the most pretty, but we could see a repeat here, because here comes the car of Diogo Maros. I can't even think anymore in towards turn number 3. And no, he's going to back out of it as Pete Newman runs very wide.
Yeah, I think Malroy just has to be a little bit patient here. Janowski's got enough pace to put enough pressure on Pete Newman and to pressure him into a mistake. And instead of having a little look and sticking his nose into a small gap, he just has to wait. Janowski is quick enough to put Pete Newman in a place where he does not want to be.
Got to look behind though. Adam Hadfield, Stephen Hall, that entire train is closing up, and that is not what Pete Newman wants. He does not want to have to deal with any more cars that he doesn't need to deal with right now. In towards the final corner, a little bit later on the brakes there is Julian Janowski, and he's showing it because he's got a stunning run out of that corner, and he's going to look to the inside, but you can see already a defensive move down the front straightaway. You think this is a battle for your race win. It's not. It's only for the podium right now, because Lewis Bibby's 9 seconds down the road with 3 minutes to go in this session. Daddy inside toe on contact again between them. They're really not showing any harm's way, and now you can see Janowski's got the inside. Boxed in there is Diogo Moro. Not ideal as they head themselves now towards turn number 3. The room has to be given. Daddy inside goes Diogo Moro. They're gonna rub, they're gonna wiggle once again, and still you look at it, Pete Newman is a stunning hold, and now there is contact. Around to the outside goes Janowski. He'll cut across the track, and there's contact with Hadfield as well, and Janowski has thrown his race away.
Yeah, just door to door, one too many times around the wrong corner, and somebody needs to send out a search party because he's lost in the woods somewhere.
I don't think Narnia's quite that way, but you know, he's found himself back in the field right now, and he's a mile back. He's behind the cars of Peter Van Gool and Lord Murray as well.
Sorry, Melrose through on Newman.
into the final corner. Stunning move from Diogo Maro. He now wants to seize the opportunity, and so do the Welsh cars, so do the Cymru cars. Hadfield and Hall, they're going to look at Pete Newman as well. Newman, he's struggling right now here in this final few laps of your motor race. It's going to be, I believe, 2 or 3 to go. To the outside goes Hadfield here on Pete Newman. He can't afford to drop the positions. He lost the first race battle to Melro. He's probably going to lose the second as well. Running outside then goes the car of Adam Hadfield. He's going to throw a spanner in the works there for Discovery. He throws himself through up into 3rd position right now. Pete Newman's in trouble here, Conrad.
Yeah, he's working that steering wheel very, very hard. It doesn't look like his car's too keen to drive in a straight line. He's alright once he gets into a corner, but going in a straight line is not that car's strong point at the moment.
Well, there might be some damage there, and that might be very, very crucial for Pete Newman. He might be in a whole load of trouble, and he's got to deal with this train behind. Hall, Wright, Simpson, and well, actually, something to note, Kip Stevens and Alex Everett have dropped a mile. They've had an incident somewhere as well, and actually, you can see it right now. Here comes Stephen Hall. Hall's going to go to the inside right now, and well, this is the opportunity that we're going to see. Down to the inside. This will be a final lap, and actually Max Wright there. Max, their ultimate opportunist, trying to go down the inside here on this final lap of your motor race, and it's so much trouble for Pete Newman. Newman, he's going to try and hold it down the straight now. Look back here at Stephen Hall. Hall's not going to defend it, and I don't doubt him. Down to the inside. He comes along, and there is contact between the two, and Simpson will go wide behind. There's 3 wide. There's contact, and loud! Oh my word! Pete Newman goes round, and this has all turned horribly wrong, and the race has turned into a nightmare. Unbelievable scenes right now, but you have to say, Lewis Bibby, he's going to round himself through the carousel. It's all gone wrong for Pete Newman. It's been the horror show, but this man, his Christmases did come all at once. He can cruise. He can really, really cruise. It's going to be a debut win, and with 1 corner to go, Lewis Bibby, he's done everything he needed to do. He made sure everyone else battled, and for the England driver, he knows exactly what he needed. Lewis Bibby wins the memorable one in stunning fashion here at Summit Point, round 29. Race of the season candidate, you betcha. Look behind, it's going to be Melrose 2nd, Hadfield 3rd, but they're still scrapping it out. Simpson having a little fight there with Stephen Hall as they drive to the line. Conrad, this is stunning. And well, at the end of all that, Pete Newman, he's kicking his teeth.
Yeah, and he's still got to cross the line as well. I'm not entirely sure. Oh, he's just coming across the line now. Kip Stevens struggling as well. There's a couple of cars not feeling too great. But yeah, what a fantastic drive by Lewis Bibby. And I've got a strange feeling when it comes down to counting up the points at the end of the championship, Summit Point is going to come into the reckoning.
I believe Kip Stevens is out of fuel on the finish line. I believe he cannot do any more than he has done. He is gone, and he cannot do anything else about it. He will finish behind. Here comes Cesare Rizzo then to the line, and that is not ideal for Kip Stevens. You can see just how frustrated he is, and actually, well, you can see there he's just trying to kick it there. He's going to finish behind Cesare Rizzo there. Very gentlemanly there, waiting behind. There must have been an incident somewhere along track, but we can now run you through the most greatest finish ever to what has been the BSR MSA Kia World Series round 29 here at Summit Point. Lewis Bibby wins by 10.2 seconds over the car of Diogo Maro. Adam Hadfield will finish off in 3rd with Max Wright 4th, Lorne Murray 5th, Peter Van Gool there in 6th, Stephen Hall 7th with Nathaniel Simpson 8th, Julian Janowski 9th, Pete Newman 10th, and that will hurt. That will really hurt. Danker 11th there with Alex Everett 12th, Davis 13th, Cesare Rizzo 14th with Kip Stevens letting him through in 15th. Aldo Massa and Jason Greenfield fail to finish the race, and well, we'll see who we can get then for a little bit of a driver interview. And well, very difficult one to say who we are going to try and bring in for you. But right now, I think we can wait for the time being and bring it to you at the start of race number 3, or actually the end of race 3 as well. We're going to step aside for the final time tonight. When we come back, the final race, round 30. After that one, you know it's going to be one that you need to remember.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Truex in the outside contact made. 56 slides it into 4. Who's going to be at the stripe? Dead even. Give it to Ryan Truex. Truex is your winner over Tandy.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based
Welcome to the final time tonight. Welcome to your BSR MSA Kia World Series here. Streaming live on iRacing Live, brought to you by Apex Racing TV. If you've only just joined us, where on earth have you just been? You've missed the race of the season so far, which has seen everything under the sun and has seen the championship change hands. Melro now in charge here. Jake Sparey, Conrad Venter. Conrad, has to be race of the season.
Yeah, definitely is in with a shout along with I think it was race 2 around Silverstone. But yeah, it was like a 6-way boxing match for second place most of the race.
Yes, it certainly was. And well, Pete Newman is someone we really do have to focus on in the number 10 machine, because he now drops himself, and he drops himself a mile down the field right now. He's not in circuit at the moment, but he will be. But right now, Pete Newman, he's got to be kicking himself. He needs to salvage something against Diogo in order to retain the championship.
Yeah, and I mean, previous meetings, he's had bad races, but so far tonight, it's 2 bad races in a row, and he really needs something good out of this third and final race tonight to salvage something.
Yes, most certainly. And now, interesting point has just been brought up here, and that is to do at the end of race 2 with Kip Stevens here. On his drive to the line, he stopped, he let everyone on the leading lap through, and then he himself crossed the line. This was, I believe, done so he could get pole position for the next race here, this final race of the night, round 30 here at Summit Point. And it's very interesting, Conrad, what will happen, whether he'll start from the back, whether he will start from pole. We just don't know at the moment.
Yeah, I think Mr. Stevens has been in the wars tonight, and maybe just a chance to start from the front and emulate what Lewis Bibby did in race 2. Just have a clean race, one where you don't leave half the paint on the car next to you.
Interesting point to note: any driver who has started from pole tonight has gone on to take the race win. That is very, very crucial. Well, it's certainly going to be one that we need to look out for here, and well, certainly has been a very interesting race that has gone along. And well, we got one more race of this. We got one more 20-minute race, which is going to be throwing up all sorts of excitement. And well, everyone's just got to try and prove themselves. And actually, the number 21 we need to focus on, Alex Everett. He had a torrid time in that second race, and he needs to salvage something.
Yeah, very much like Kip Stevens as well. It's been a really difficult meeting for some of the front runners we normally see, and a lot of them will be looking towards a good race 3 just to get something out of the 3 races tonight.
Yes, all eyes will be turning to the next 3 rounds of the BSR MSA Kia World Series, rounds 31 to 33. It is going to be crunch time next week as we head to Phoenix Road. And Conrad, well, the most important thing is, I have not actually in this BSR MSA Kia World Series commentated when we've gone to a road oval. I have had everything under the sun happen to mean that I couldn't make it. So everyone's got to try and pray for me to make it, surely.
Yeah, well, it'll be an interesting one to actually make your debut on. I don't think from the other sort of rovals, as you call them, that we've got, it's a little bit of a different one. The oval side of Phoenix is not as quick as the likes of Charlotte and Daytona, so I don't think the draft around there will be as great. But the infield section is very much like we see around Summit Point with turns 5 to 8. It's very tight and very twisty. It's going to be very difficult to overtake as well.
Very much so. And well, just a minute and a half until these cars grid up and we work out where everyone starts to place themselves. Everyone's just got to stay calm, everyone's got to stay collected. We've seen all the incidents and the fireworks happen in race 2. Will race 3 live up to the same name? We don't quite know, but Conrad, who's your pick for the race win here?
Well, everything that I've predicted tonight has just gone exactly the other way. But with if Mr. Kip Stevens starts on pole position, he's giving himself a very good chance for the win. Cesare Rizzo, he's due for a good race. He should be starting second. So either one of those two, and should be will be my pick for the win.
Yes, most certainly. Look out, though, for Diogo Melro. He'll be looking to try and get a third consecutive podium tonight. He is having a stormer at just the right time where he needs it, and he'll certainly be one to look out for. Also, look out for your championship leader heading into this event, these 3 races. That was Pete Newman. I believe he has now relinquished the championship lead to Melro, but he will certainly be looking for recovery, as will Alex Everett. Of course, Julian Janowski has had two great races to himself as well, including a race win as well in the opening race of the night. So 10 seconds to go in this practice session, and then we will be able to give you your official qualifying results for round number 30 of your BSR MSA Kia World Series. It's officially 7 to go right about now. All eyes now turn to the grid and see where everyone, and I mean everyone, is being placed. And in the end, it will be Kip Stevens who will take pole position. So in the end, nothing changed in that one. Cesare Rizzo also on the front row beside Christopher Davis there on row 2 with Alex Everett. Jurg Dankert 5th, Pete Newman 6th, Janowski 7th, Simpson 8th, Hall, Van Gool, Murray and Wright, Hadfield, Melro, Bibby and Massa. That is your 16 cars here at the moment. Jason Greenfield, well, he's decided that's it, that's enough, I've had my race, and well, there's certainly going to be things to look out for here later on as well. We're just waiting for a couple of cars to grid. You got a minute, and once you use that minute up, you're just waiting for a couple of cars to grid up. Adam Hadfield has got himself onto grid. So has another driver of Cesare Rizzo. We're going to wait for the lights. The engines are revving for the final time tonight. We are green to go at Summit Point. Round 30 is underway. Christopher Davis with a good start, but it's not going to work out because Cesare Rizzo is going to go side by side with Kip Stevens on the run down to turn number 1. He's going to run himself onto the grass almost as he gets his nose ahead. Discovery with the potential to lead into turn 1. Everett with a great one. Contact behind with Davis. And well, you can see they are going to go bumping and banging. There is contact there. Further back, and he's going to turn himself around, and that's not ideal. Oh, he gets tagged as well by one of the other cars. I believe that car that tagged him was Peter Van Gool. That's not ideal. That's probably wrecked his race as well. You can see bumping and banging behind. There you can see Max right now taking to the grass. Not ideal, but already you can see race leader Cesare Rizzo off into the wall early. It's all kicking off already.
Yeah, I did say everything I was predicting was happening in reverse. Cesare Rizzo, one of my picks for the race win, is back in the pits.
Yes, he is. He caught me mid-drink there, but now Alex Everett, who's had the worst race possible, has actually gone and got himself away. Big mistake, though, from Kip Stevens. Here comes Pete Newman, who's looking for revenge. He's really looking for the opportunity here as he heads himself down the inside at the final corner, and they're going to bump, they're going to bang, they're going to lose all sorts of speed, and now they're going to go 3 wide, 4 wide, no, 3 wide, yes, thread the needle, oh my word, Janowski's going to take the lot. What a move from Julian Janowski, and it's still not quite over just yet. Janowski already up into P2 after starting 7th. Wow, Janowski's on a flyer right now here, Conrad, and they're still scrapping it out here in a battle which is going on for the final step of the podium.
Yeah, Janowski showed in race 2. He's got great pace around this track, and I'm afraid for Kip Stevens, he just can't catch a break tonight, can he? He started on pole and he's already down to 4th place.
Yeah, he's really struggling in these opening laps. Of course, we've only had one, and well, you can see Alex Everett already away by about 2 seconds, and that's exactly what he wanted. But you know, after what happened at round number, back at Spa, he did have a couple of swipes at Janowski after the race. Not ideal, not cool. But you know that there is a massive rivalry between these two coming along, and if Janowski closes, then this is going to turn into a BSR MSA classic here at Summit Point. If the second wasn't already, Simpson, massive slide, and he's going to relinquish to Hall, and possibly his own teammate Dankert, who's going to lose out to Murray as they go Noah's Ark, 2 by 2 down the front straightaway. And well, you've got to keep looking here, because Peter Van Gool now comes back out onto circuit, so does Cesare Rizzo. Right now, Conrad This is a position where nobody wants to see. There is now lap traffic in the way as you look at Hall and I believe Nathaniel Simpson going side by side.
Yeah, and we saw in race 2 how hard these guys are battling, and now they've got a lap car who's going sideways right in front of them, and they'll do well to get by him without incident. Yeah, Peter Van Gool staying on the grass well out of the way, but he's got more traffic coming up behind him, still on the grass. Yeah,
Wise.
I think very wise decision there.
Yeah, very wise decision from Peter Van Gool. Lets the whole field back, and actually, right at the back of that pack is Diogo Mero. He has not made any inroads so far here, and while he's been looking and looking, he's only made 2 places, and well, still he can't do it. Aldo Massa, he's struggled already. He is all the way back, a lap down. Something's happened between them. We will try and catch that one. Well, we probably won't catch that one, but Aldo Massa's had a shocker here today, and well, it's certainly shown here as you look right now here. Battle for second. It's 3 of the best. Stevens, Newman, and also Julian Janowski as well as they head themselves down towards turn number 1 once again. Newman looking at the outside. He does get the room. He will have to do it the long way. It's going to be difficult. There is contact between the two. Down in towards turn number 1. But it's Janowski's going to hold out behind. I believe I've seen a car run very wide through that section. And yes, I have. That's Adam Hadfield. He'll drop the position to Lorne Murray. Murray actually on a charge right now. And he is doing really well as you look at Simpson having a look at Stephen Hall.
Yeah, and also Alex Everett is clear by 2.7 seconds to the front. And this is almost like a copybook. Like a copy of race 2. And a massive scrap for the 2nd and 3rd and 4th place. While the leader at the front is just running away with it.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're seeing at the moment. It seems to be a trend, a worrying trend at the moment here. If you are a car in second place, Julian Janowski. Janowski's just got to stay consistent and make sure he's not battling too hard. We've seen how great he's been out of the final corner, and that'll be something for Pete Newman to try and exploit. He's looking for as many points as possible, and so far, Diogo Mero is in exactly the right position to do that. And actually, Mero must have struggled somewhere along this lap because he has dropped completely off the back of this train, and that is exactly what Pete Newman wanted here. As you look and you see Kip Stevens actually falling off the back of this one and falling back into the clutch to Stephen Hall in towards turn number 1. Nothing to do for the time being. Gap across the line, another 2.4 second gap that has still arisen. It's not decisive yet, Conrad, but there is still a chance.
Yeah, and while all of that's going on, I was just looking back at a couple of the laps of Diogo Mero. It doesn't look like he got caught up in anything. It just looks like he's been overcautious and trying to stay out of trouble, and that's meant that he's dropped way off the pace.
Yeah, just compare his lap times to Joe Dankert ahead. That is 1.4 seconds. A 1:13.2 meets a 1:14.6. Compare that with the guys here in the front of the pack. They're doing 1:11s here right now. And that's just showing you just how crucial it is to stay on the pace. You can't get a break for a second. Aldo Massa is out. Christopher Davis is out. Peter Van Gool is a lap down. Cesare Rizzo almost a lap down right now. And will be next car for Alex Everett to get past. But right now, seeing the calm before the storm right now, and actually you're seeing Julian Janowski starting to reel in that gap just a little bit. Look at the times they cross the line right now. Alex Everett does a 1:11.4 that time by. A 1:11.2 from Julian Janowski. Another 2:10. Gap down to 2.3. This is not over. And now you can see why Julian Janowski is one of the quickest guys in this league.
Yeah, I think if he just gets a lap like he did on that last one, where he's not fighting anybody, and they will see what his pace is really like. And like I said a couple of minutes ago, he's got a really good pace around Summit Point, and I think he's quite capable of reeling in Alex Everett in the remaining 13 minutes of the race.
Yeah, we're going to look here at Nathaniel Simpson, who's been looking for an answer to try and get through. And actually, Kip Stevens up ahead, runs wide. Gift, please, there from Bermuda. He will go take that souvenir and lose those 2 positions. And now Kip Stevens is really starting to struggle here around Summit Point. He'll look to Phoenix Road to try and get his first win. It's not going to happen today. Simpson and Hall then, they're going to continue. And for Nathaniel Simpson here, Conrad, he hasn't caught a break. He hasn't found a way through. And he's just got to keep plugging away because the chance will come.
Yeah, he's had a decent race 1. Race 2, he just disappeared into the crowd. But sitting in 6th position at the moment, he's going to get a great run on Stephen Hall. And sorry, that's 5th position at the moment. And he's going to look to the inside. He's struggling to stop it, and like we've seen so many times, his contact with Stephen Hall as they go into turn 1.
But they hold it together, and that's the crucial fact. They are side by side, as they head themselves now towards turn number 3 on circuit. Round the outside goes Nathaniel Simpson. No, not going to happen. Here comes Kip the Hairflick Stevens, looking for a bit of redemption here as he heads himself now in towards turn number 4. The small keep right, so difficult, into the left of 5. On the brakes, trying to go around the outside. Down the inside goes Hadfield there on the car of, I believe that is. Oh no, Law Murray sideways, and there's Lewis Bibby involved as well. The race 2 winner, not ideal, and turned around and nowhere to go. Not ideal at all there, Conrad.
No, not at all. And Lewis Bibby looking at. I had a look on the inside. I think Lawn Murray just cut across him a little bit. I think it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Lewis Bibby just ran out wide a little bit. Lawn Murray cut back and they came together.
Yeah, it was one of those things there. You could argue it's a racing incident, but look at the battle for 4th going on right now. You can see Hall is under all sorts of threat from Simpson. Simpson to the inside for the Euro team. He's going to go to the inside. Will he make the move stick this time by? Down in towards turn number 1. They're going to get close again, and a little bit of room more possibly given. No, not going to happen there for the time being. And right now, you have to say, you've got to look at the leaders' gaps, 1.8 seconds now, and they're still going to go side by side in the battle for 4th. Here, Hall looked to the inside, and he's still got the opportunity because the room was given, and wide goes Simpson. And now here comes Kit the Hairflick and Adam Hadfield as well for a stern into the right-hander, and nothing doing yet, Conrad.
Adam Hadfield, another driver who had really good, really good lap times in qualifying and in practice as well, and he'll certainly be looking for a better result than what he's gotten so far tonight.
Diogo Mero then just passing Lewis Bibby right now. He will move up a position so far. He's now up to 9th on track at the moment. He is now up 5 positions and doing everything. But look at this train coming along here in the battle for 4th. It is showing right now that everyone wants a piece of the action. Stevens to the outside, then on the car of Nathaniel Simpson. And these two, they've had great battles in the past. And now it's starting to materialise again. Right now, down the front straightaway, Adam Hadfield looking for an opportunity as well to make the move. But I don't think it's going to quite happen. Last little late breakers we're going to see again. No, we're not going to see any moves this time by. They're all going to bunch up and break away once again. Gaps opened up again to 2 seconds now for Janowski. He's looking for the opportunity, but he's being a little bit too inconsistent, Conrad. It's not going to happen with 1/2 of your race left to go. It's not closing quick enough.
Yeah, I think he's pushing very hard. That last lap might have just made a little mistake as Alex Everett pulled out 0.3 of a second on them. And again, like I said, with other guys tonight, he just needs to hit his markers and keep it calm, and he's got the pace to catch him.
Yeah, most certainly here is that a little bit of bumping and banging between Max Wright and Adam Hadfield here in your battle for 8th place. Any more bumping and banging, they'll let Diogo Mero back into the party. And nobody, and I mean nobody, wants Diogo Mero back into the party. No offence to him, but Nathaniel Simpson and Stephen Hall still going at it. How is Stephen Hall still ahead? He's showing everything. And actually, Pete Newman now is starting to close in that gap. He's brought it down to 3.2. And actually, look at the gap that time by. Struggles for Alex Everett there. Gaps down to 1.3 seconds. If Cesare Rizzo now gets out of the way, which he does, now's the time to pounce for Janowski. It's a slow burner, which is going to lead to a dramatic conclusion.
Just under 9 minutes to go, and Janowski going 7/10 quicker than he did on the previous lap. Yeah, he's flying once again.
Yeah, he really is. You can see Janowski's got the bit between his teeth, and he wants to show Alex Everett that I am the quicker driver. More traffic up ahead here, and that is Christopher Davis, and Davis gets a massive twitch and does get out of the way in just the nick of time. He's 7 laps down, but he's going to continue anyway. So very bold and brave from that perspective right now. Look at the battle for 4th going on. Still Nathaniel Simpson looking at the carousel section, still looking for an opportunity, and still not finding it, Conrad.
Yeah, well, Stephen Hall's putting his car in all the right places, not making any mistakes, and they've managed to pull a little bit of a gap over Kip Stevens as well. Sorry, I'm just going to have a quick look back. I think I saw a car just before the bridge in the trees. Just make sure and see who that was. That was Christopher Davis.
Yeah, shame there for Christopher Davis, but look at that gap now in the battle for your race lead. It's under a second, and now the pressure will start to tell. The pressure cooker is starting to heat up and crank it up to 11 Fahrenheit. Crank up your Marshall amps to 11 and brace yourself for the eardrums, because this one is totally and honestly personal right now between Alex Everett and Julian Janowski in towards 4 and now 5 coming along. It has been quoted so much about how much They are not liking each other, and now it's going to show. And now, Janowski, Conrad, all over the back.
Oh, you can just see how much it closes on Alex Everett under braking. Alex Everett has got a few dents in it as well, so that's not going to help him at all. But yeah, Janowski has looked really strong through turns 5 to 8 the whole night.
Yes, he has. He's really got that dialed in. He's got this Kia Optima right there. And look at the run through the final corner. Alex Everett's going to have to go defensive here. Battle for your race lead going on right now. Here the time as you cross the line is going to be 13 minutes, 17 seconds. Now there's another 7 minutes to play with right now. And you can see round the outside will have to go Janowski. And well, you're going to see the room is being given right now here by Alex Everett. But not too much. They're going to remain side by side for the next stretch of corners. Something's happened to Hall and Simpson going on back behind. They have all dropped down the field. That's not ideal. But through, we're going to stay with Janowski because Janowski has got the move. Got the race lead right now, and Alex Everett will want to come back at him. And you can see he's all over the back. Look at the opportunity. They touch, and Janowski finds the wall. We said fireworks would happen, and now, Janowski has lost all chance of a race win, and you had to say it was coming.
Oh, and I think that's the second time this season something like this has happened, where he's been in the lead and has just gone all wrong. But yeah, getting a couple of taps from behind, I think he might feel a little bit of grief out of that one.
Yeah, most certainly. Alex Everett there was really trying to push the matter, and he pushed it too hard. But now look at this group right now here in your battle for what is now the final step of the podium, because Diogo Melro's there, Conrad, and now the championship. You got to bring that back into the picture right now, because Alex Everett's just had problems somewhere along the lap, I believe. Alex Everett, let's just look out for him, number 21. Where is he? He's gone. Alex Everett is gone. He's decided that's it. That's the end of his race. Too much damage. That's the end of that one. So now Pete Newman leads, and now this is a battle for second, and it's not ideal at all.
Yeah, it looks like Alex Everett after that incident, very frustrated and just pulled it up and got out of the car and left as well. Pete Newman in the lead. This is exactly what he's been looking for the whole night.
Yes, it is, and look at the gap. It's 8 seconds, and 8 seconds is enough to say, wow, everything that you need to about this. Here, look at the battle for second. Max Wright here. He's showing everyone what he can do in this situation here. Max Wright, Kip Stevens, Adam Hadfield, Diogo Melro battle for second, third, fourth. Third, fourth, fifth, and second, third, fourth, and fifth. I can't even think anymore right now, and you can see right now just how important it is for everyone just to keep calm, keep the composure. The final 5 minutes starts now, and now you got to turn to the championship. If Melro can put himself up into second right now, then he minimises every single thing that Pete Newman wanted out of this race, and he makes sure that he becomes the thing. Look at them weave, Conrad, down the straightaway. 1 change of action, 2 change of action. This is like NASCAR, not NASCAR, IndyCar that you see this happening. Stevens now with an opportunity down the inside. Will he get the move sorted? Cut back, coming along. Oh, they jump and they bump, and now through will go Hadfield, and here comes Diogo Melro.
Yeah, Melrose through into fourth as well.
Oh, you can see just how close he's trying. You can see every single inch of that car is looking for a way past Bermuda's Kip Stevens. And Stevens tried everything in race 2 to get the pole. And now he's back on the podium. And now he's looking. But no, Melro's not going to have it. Right! He's going to hit the same wall Janowski hit. Unbelievable seas. Max Roy was going so well. And he's going to throw it at the worst possible time. We're down to 3 in the battle for second now. The final steps of the podium. Melro, Stevens, Hadfield. This is stunning to watch. This is a psychological battle. Now everyone's just willing it, and the tiredness is setting in, and so are the tyres.
Absolutely, and you think it's going to be up to name that particular tyre barrier the Wall of Champions for Summit Point?
Oh no, well, it's the wall of disrepute, we could surely call it, because everyone, and I mean everyone, who has looked at having a shot has gone and binned it there tonight. And well, certainly we're looking for opportunities here. This is the closest battle we have on circuit. Also, you got to look behind Stephen Hall and Nathaniel Simpson. That one's a slow burner. That one's going to still continue. And well, you got to keep your eyes open. You got to keep your eyes peeled here in this battle for your final steps in your podium right now, because Diogo Melro is the car you have to focus on. He needs to score points, and he needs to find a way through. And you got to be patient, but you got to be a little bit desperate if you're under that sort of pressure that's cooking up with everyone falling around you.
Yeah, like Melrose got a 2-second gap back to Lewis Bibby. He's if he wants to stay in front in the championship, leaving tonight, he's gonna have to get his elbows out a little bit and get involved in this fight in front of him.
Get out and jostle. That is the order of the day right now. Just got to remember here, there is a certain driver called Pete Newman walking away with this one. Gap's about 10 seconds. Look at the time when he crosses the line. That will tell you how many laps we got left. Answer is 18:08. We got 2 more laps of your motor race to go here at Summit Point. And surely this is going to be the greatest 3 races you will ever see in your life. This will go down in fairy tales. And, well, it will go down in nightmares as well. Down towards turn number 1, and Kip Stevens looking for the cutback opportunity. Not going to happen, but he's just waiting for the moment to pounce. So is Melro. They're all trying to go their best. 112 flat, 112.2, 112.2. That is how it looks at the moment. A little bit of a look there from Kip Stevens, but Conrad, this is where it all culminates to a heat right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And Adam Hatfield mentioned earlier, he's been really quick all night, just hasn't had the luck. And there's no way he's going to relinquish that second place easily.
Yeah, certainly not. And Kip Stevens, he's looking for another podium. It won't be a race win, it seems, this time by. But now, you've got to look at this. You've got to look at this battle for second. Melrose falling off the pace here, Conrad. Melrose is surely now looking out of this one. He's going to settle for 4th.
Yeah, he's looking like he's really struggling through the carousel. He's not getting good runs into the corners or hitting apexes like we just see through turn 10 there. Yeah, I don't think he's going to really get involved with the fight in front of him. He'll do well to keep hold of 5th place and walk away with that.
Kip Stevens then with a late break here as he heads himself down towards turn number 1. He's got the outside. There's a bit of contact between the two, but they're going to keep it together right now as they head themselves for turn number 3. Unfortunately, we will have to cut away at some stage. This is the final lap of your motor race, and now into the left-hander they come along of turn number 3. You've got to keep your eyes on this one, but now we're going to keep it as they head themselves now in towards 4 and 5. Is there going to be a move? Answer to that one is going to be no. There is not a move. But now we move to Pete Newman, who rounds turn 8, who rounds turn 9, and now has 1 corner to go. He's been looking for this all night. It's not happened for him today. But now he surely gets a taste of champagne and sweet, sweet retribution. It's a dish best served piping hot. Pete Newman comes across the line and salvages his championship lead by winning round number 30, and the battle for second, it's going to come to the drive, and well, surely now Hadfield holds out on Kip Stevens, and Diogo Maro finishes 4th there, Conrad.
Yeah, I can't say that Adam Hatfield thoroughly deserved that podium spot, and Kip Stevens finally having a fairly clean race and finishing up on the podium as well.
Yeah, most certainly. You're just seeing the last of the cars then finishing off their race here. Max Wright, well, what could have been for him? He was there looking for a lovely, lovely fight, and it didn't quite happen for him. He's dropped down the field like a stone, and that is not, and I mean not, what he wanted at all here. But being the last of the cars on the lead lap there, and I hiccup ever so slightly, we'll run you through your final classified results of the night, round 30. Of your BSR MSA Kia World Series, brought to you here from Summit Point, West Virginia. Pete Newman then wins by 10.8 seconds over Adam Hadfield there in that Kumare team. There you can see Kip Stevens finishing off in 3rd with Diogo Maro 4th. Lewis Bibby coming home in 5th, starting 15th, up 10 positions, same for Melro. Stephen Hall finishing 6th there with Nathaniel Simpson 7th, Lorne Murray 8th, Max Wright there finishing 9th with Cesare Rizzo first of the cars a lap down. Peter Van Gool and Joe Dankert there finished 1 lap and 2 laps down respectively, with Alex Everett 13th having a massive smack with Janoski. Janoski off into the barrier as well. He finishes 14th with Christopher Davies there 15th. Aldo Massa out on the opening lap. That is how your field looks, and we're going to bring you 2 drivers hopefully into this one. Nope, we are only going to bring you 1 because I wanted to get a talk with a certain Mr. Alex Everett, but it just seems for the time being that he is not here and available for interview. Very wise decision in that sense. We're going to bring you in Pete Newman though, and well, it has certainly been a fantastic race for you. Not one that you expected to win, but surely a win is a win, and you will take that one over towards Phoenix Road.
Yeah, definitely. To be honest, I didn't really think that was on. Julian kind of pulled away a little bit, although I did think to myself that was working in my favour, because I was trying to conserve my tyres, because I've been struggling with that throughout the evening. So yeah, I kind of knew when they got together fireworks might happen, and it did. It didn't take as long as I thought, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely. You look at that one and you think, well, we're going to analyse that one afterwards. We're going to see the stewards get heavily involved in that one as well. And it's just one of those things where a rivalry starts to get personal and emotions start building up between both parties. And, well, it just seems to me that that was just a culmination of everything. And they tried to give a little bit less room and everyone was getting closer. Especially, it turns out, with you and Diogo, because Diogo, of course, being your teammate, he did finish 4th tonight here in the final race, and he's had 3 fantastic races, and surely now he's bringing the fight with 6 to go.
Yeah, I was just saying, like, he's had a really good evening tonight, so that's great for him. Like, I've had a good race as well, a good few races, finished all of them, and obviously just lucked out with that win then. So yeah, it's been a good evening for the team again. Unfortunate, it was Ches back in. I was following him a lap down at the end of that race, which was a little blot on the marker. But you know, aside from that, it's been a great 3 races.
Yes, of course, you now have the Constructors' title wrapped up underneath your belt right now. And while looking towards Phoenix, is that a circuit that you're really going to look forward to enjoying? Of course, it's certainly going to be a very, very good race to look out for.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Half of me wants it to be the oval, but I don't kind of wish that upon myself. Although, you know, every time we do a Kia oval race, well, it makes for some great entertainment. But you know, the road track's just as good. You've got half the oval on it, so it's going to be a cracking race.
Cracking race indeed. Pete Newman, then your race winner here, round number 30. But that is all we have time for tonight. What a fantastic 3 races we've just seen. From me, myself, Jake Sparey, from Conrad Venter, from Samuli Kumo behind the cameras, and from everyone at Apex Racing TV, streaming live on iRacing Live. This has been sensational, and this has surely shown that nothing is safe in the world of the BSR MSA Kia World Series. Tune in next week, same time, same place, Phoenix Road, and after that, the season finale at Suzuka. This has been a fantastic race to watch. Good night.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.